Do you think the Indomania is, eventually going to overpower Hinduphobia? What about this kind of support, the Khalistani support that is being galvanized? I mean, you just spoke about those visuals, and that's not just the one set we have. We've seen so many skirmishes taking place from Canada, Australia, to the Times Square, the kind of protests that are taking shape in the United States. Do you think this is going to go a long way in tackling the galvanizing support of Khalistani supporters?
Sir, these things are counterproductive. These idiots don't seem to understand because when they indulge in violence and you show it on your screens, the average American, if there is such a thing, the all American kid or the all American man or woman will say, "Who on earth are these characters wearing the strange turbans and wielding their sticks and so on?" No, it's going to be totally counterproductive. Some governments, particularly Canada and maybe the United Kingdom, might try to use it to pressure India, already the fourth largest economy in the world. Not fifth, sir. We've overtaken Germany, already the third most powerful military in the world, the Indian community, the Indian diaspora, the United States, 5 million, highest positions, etc., highest per capita income of any immigrant community in the United States. So all this will carry on. But let me assure you, sir, and I say this with total knowledge, I go twice in a year to the United States, the goodwill and admiration for India far outweighs any kind of disapproval of India and what India stands for.
Right, Ambassador Vohra. Pankaj Mishra this side. Been a long time since we interacted, and good to have you back once again. Now, talking about the similar sentiments that you echoed as far as the Indians are concerned in the United States, Atlanta obviously stands out with a lot of support and a lot of temples also there as far as Hinduism is concerned. If we move towards the western side, speaking of Seattle, there again, it passed a law which prohibited discrimination against casteism within the Indian society in the United States. Now, this was vehemently opposed by, by the proponents of this law, which has been passed by Georgia. Do you believe that Indians too, I mean, with all their glory and their might and their knowledge, still need to walk this line, a bit with caution, so as to they are not seen as discriminators within the Indian society as far as caste is concerned?
Is that question for me?
Yes, Ambassador Vohra.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Is my audio clear with you now?
No, it's coming across clear. So what you were asking was that should we tread carefully?
Yes, as far as Seattle is concerned, it has passed a law which prohibits casteism within the which is predominant in Indian society there in Seattle, and that's why they have chosen to bar it or ban it. So, do you believe that as an Indian?
Excuse me, my throat has cracked up. It's something to do with the Chinese virus.
You can grab a glass of water if you want, sir. Yeah.
So let me put it across to you like this, that the caste system of India has been totally misrepresented in some parts. They think we go around beating up people who belong to different castes. We don't recognize them, etc., etc. But the reality now is that in the United States, where they had their own caste system amongst the rich people and the not so rich people, the blacks and the whites and the Hispanics, they understand that we are trying to create, it's an experiment that is going on in India, incomplete at the moment. We're trying to create a nation out of disparate, different communities. So I would not take this very, very seriously. The law that they have passed does not target the Indian community. It targets everybody in the world. And in some way, if you read it very, very carefully, the legislation, it is that the United States, like India, believes in pluralism, multiculturalism, non-discrimination, etc. I believe that's a very powerful message. But we sometimes tend to look only at the negative part of it. Let me tell you, sir, I'll quote to you my kid who lives in the United States. A friend of his told me when I was last in New York a few months ago, he says to me, he says, "Mr. Ambassador, this is the best time to be an Indian in the United States. What more can I add?"